Have you ever felt like you're speaking a completely different language from your partner since having the baby? Like you're drowning in this heavy, invisible fog, and they're just there, not quite seeing it? You're not alone. Postpartum depression, or even just the roller coaster of postpartum emotions, can feel so isolating, especially when the person you love most doesn't fully understand what you're going through. Maybe you've tried to explain it, but the words come out jumbled, or they brush it off with a, "You'll feel better once you get some sleep." And then you're left feeling even more alone, right? Today, we're going to talk about how to bridge that gap. How to communicate your needs in a way that doesn't leave you feeling defensive or misunderstood. Because here's the thing. Your partner wants to support you. They just might not know how. And you deserve to feel seen, heard, and held during this season. Let's walk through 4 practical ways to help them understand what you're feeling. Starting with the first step. Naming what you're feeling, even when it's messy. Let's be real. Postpartum emotions don't fit into neat little boxes. One minute you're crying over a diaper commercial, the next you're irrationally angry because your partner loaded the dishwasher wrong. It's chaotic. But here's the secret. Your partner isn't a mind reader. They need you to name what's happening, even if it feels silly or overwhelming. Take my friend Sarah. She told me she'd snap at her husband every time he offered to take the baby so she could relax. Sounds nice, right? But to her, it felt like he was saying, "You're not doing a good job." Instead of yelling, she finally said, "When you take the baby without asking, I feel like you're criticizing me." And guess what? He had no idea that's how she felt. He thought he was helping. By naming the emotion, criticism, instead of just the action, they could actually talk about it. So how do you start? Try this. I feel emotion when situation, because reason. For example, I feel overwhelmed when the house is messy, because it makes me feel like I'm failing at this. It's not about blaming. It's about giving them a roadmap to your heart. Now, the second tool. Using I statements instead of you statements. This one's gold. Instead of saying, "You never help with the night feedings," try, "I'm really struggling with the night feedings. Could we talk about a plan?" See the difference? One puts them on defense. The other invites them into the solution. Let me give you a real-life example. A mom in our community, Lisa, told her partner, "You're always on your phone when I need you." He immediately got defensive. "I'm just checking work emails." But when she rephrased it, "I feel lonely handling bath time alone. Could we make it our thing together?" He started putting his phone away. It wasn't about his fault. It was about her need. These first 2 steps, naming emotions and using I statements, are about clarity, not confrontation. But what if you've tried these and still feel stuck? That's where our next steps come in. Let's talk about bringing in backup and setting small, clear requests. Okay, let's say you've tried naming your feelings and using I statements, but your partner still isn't quite getting it. Maybe they're dismissive. "It's just hormones, it'll pass." Or they shut down because they feel helpless. This is where bringing in backup can be a game changer. I'm not talking about ambushing them with a therapist, though therapy is amazing. Start small. Share a resource, a podcast episode, an Instagram post, that explains postpartum depression in a way that resonates with you. Say, "I heard this today, and it put into words what I've been feeling. Can we listen together?" My friend Emily did this with her husband. She sent him a TED Talk about postpartum anxiety and said, "This helped me understand why I've been so tense." When they watched it later, he finally said, "I had no idea it felt like this for you." That opened the door for deeper conversations. If they're resistant to outside resources, try using analogies they'll get. For example, you know how you felt after your big work project? Exhausted, but also proud and scared you'd mess up? That's how I feel. But multiplied by 100, and with no deadline. Relating it to their experiences can build empathy. Now, let's talk about setting small, clear requests. Postpartum life is survival mode, right? So asking for more support is too vague. Instead, break it down. Could you handle bath time 3 nights a week? Or, can we sit together for 10 minutes after the baby's asleep to just talk? One mom, Jenna, told her partner, "I need 30 minutes alone every Saturday. No baby, no chores. Just me drinking coffee in silence." He agreed, but the first few times he'd knock on the door. "Do you know where the burp cloths are?" She had to gently say, Unless the house is on fire, let's pretend I'm not here. It took practice, but now that half hour is sacred. The key. Be specific and celebrate the wins. If they do one thing you asked for, even imperfectly, say, "It meant so much that you took the baby this morning." Positive reinforcement builds momentum. But what if you're met with resistance? Or they say, "I'm doing my best." That's where our final step comes in. Creating a code word system. Let's dive into that. Let's talk about those moments when you're too exhausted to explain anything. When the baby's been crying for hours, your milk just leaked through your shirt, and your partner innocently asks, "What's for dinner?" Cue the meltdown. This is where a code word system saves the day. Agree on a word or phrase that means, "I'm drowning right now. I need you to step in." Maybe it's tacos, because why not? Or code blue. When you say it, they know to take the baby. No questions asked. Another mom, Rachel, used sunsets with her wife. When she said it, her wife would immediately put her phone down and say, "What do you need?" Sometimes Rachel just needed a hug. Other times, she needed her to take the baby for an hour. The code word cut through the noise and signaled urgency. Finally, and this is crucial, acknowledge their efforts, even when they miss the mark. Postpartum is a learning curve for both of you. If they try but forget your request, say, "I know this is new for you too. Thank you for trying." It keeps the connection open. So let's recap. Name your feelings, use I statements, bring in backup, set clear requests, and create a code word. These aren't magic fixes. They're tools to build understanding brick by brick. Remember, you're not failing because this is hard. You're doing something incredibly brave. Asking for help. And every time you speak up, you're teaching your partner how to love you through this season. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your stories. Drop a comment below. What's one small request you could make today? Let's cheer each other on. And if you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe. Together, we're rewriting the postpartum script, one honest conversation at a time. Happy postpartum life, my friend. You've got this.